Alright kid, get in here. Have a seat, you know the drill by now. I know you were lit last night for the New Year's Eve celebration. The Don was too. But I'm the gaming mobster, and we got mob business to attend to. I don't drink, but I got my Royal Crown Cola with me because I kinda need that caffeine to get through this video. You know how the deal is. So like I said, I'm Screwface Capone, the gaming mobster, and we got mob business to attend to. Alright, so the first order of business, what I need you to do is take your left hand, take your right hand, and put them together repeatedly because you're going to give yourself a round of applause. Let's do it right now. Come on, it's just me clapping right now, so I need all y'all to do this. You just gave yourself a round of applause, and you deserve that. You know why? Because you made it through another 12 months, another 52 weeks, another 365 days, another 8,760 hours, and another 31,536,000 seconds. You made it through a whole nother year. It was a rough one, but you made it. You're here with the Don on the first day of 2026. Now, we don't know what's going to transpire in 2026. We got a midterm election coming up, but enough of that. This ain't about politics and all that. Of course, we got the Super Bowl, the NBA playoffs, WrestleMania, all that good stuff. But there's one thing we do know is coming. We got tons of games coming this year. And last year, we had some banger titles. There was Clear Obscure. We had Schedule 1. There was Silent Hill F. There was Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. There was so many great games came out last year, and there are so many more great games that are coming out this year. So at the beginning of the year, what I like to do is I put together a video of 20 games I got my eye on for this year. And I don't include games I included in previous year's list. So that's why you're not going to see Pair Lives. That's why you're not going to see the Fable reboot, and that's why you're not going to see Grand Theft Auto 6. Because we know all those are going to be bangers, but I'm giving room to other games on this list. I don't even have to ask if you're doing okay and you're still breathing and all that, because again, we know you're going to have a good day because you just made it through 2025. You're here in 2026. I'm done talking. We're going to hop right into the video. Insomniac's take on one of Marvel's biggest and deadliest heroes is almost here. Players will take control of Wolverine himself, in a storyline inspired by decades of the character's comic book history. Players will encounter familiar characters such as Jean Grey, Omega Red, and Sunfire, as the game takes them all over the world, including familiar locations such as Madripoor. The game takes place in the same universe as Insomniac's Spider-Man games. We already got the usual suspects crying about wokeness, but us real Gambinos don't give a crap. We already know what Insomniac can do with Marvel from Spider-Man. I can't wait to see how well they handle Wolverine when it hits the PlayStation 5 this fall. Rushing Beat X Return of the Brawl Brothers is a little known piece of gaming history. This is the latest in the Rushing Beat series, which was a trio of beat-em-up games that were released on the Super Famicom back in the early 90s. The first game hit US shores under the name Rival Turf, the second was Brawl Brothers, and the third was Peacekeepers. Developed by Jaleco, the games have gained a cult following of sorts. City Connection, a Japanese game company that owns the IP, is reviving the series for a new generation of brawlers. The game seems to follow up on the events of Brawl Brothers, with classic characters such as Norton and Bill returning to team up with some newcomers. The game has several stages, and the characters have multiple techniques that they can master. If you like beat-em-ups, or as they're called now, belt-scrolling action games, you're going to be eating good. If you're done with Streets of Rage 4, Shredder's Revenge, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and if Toxic Crusaders still isn't out, you can whet your appetite with Rushing Beat X. One of the kings of survival horror returns this year as Resident Evil Requiem brings the horror back to Raccoon City. Playing as FBI agent Grace Ashcroft and series veteran Leon Kennedy, players will return to Raccoon City to investigate a series of murders. In the process, they'll reveal secrets long thought buried. Both heroes will have a unique gameplay style, with Grace focused on exploration and survival, while Leon is more combat heavy. The series staples, puzzle solving, claustrophobic combat, and resource management will make their return. Players can switch between first and third person view modes, so whether or not you like Resident Evil 7 and 8, you can have the best of both worlds. Fans of the series won't have long to wait, as Resident Evil Requiem drops on February 27th. Developed by Arc Systems Works in collaboration with Sony and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls is a chaotic 4 vs 4 tag team fighting game. Players take control of familiar Marvel heroes and villains such as Spider-Man, Captain America, Doctor Doom, and Ms. Marvel, all reimagined as tokusatsu-style heroes. If you played previous Arc Systems games, most notably Guilty Gear, you already know that the action gets chaotic. Now take that chaotic action and multiply it by 8, because that's how many people are going to be in a map. The game will contain several stages, and these stages are made up of different parts. The backgrounds contain tons of Easter eggs too. I was lucky enough to play the closed beta. If you enjoy games like Marvel vs. Capcom, this is going to be on your radar when it drops later this year. Hopefully Arc considers adding NFL Super Pro to the game's cast. He'd be a perfect fit. Then again, he'd fit in anywhere. The third game in Tecmo Koei and Team Ninja's Feudal Japan Souls-like, Nioh 3 will once again pit players against demonic yokai demons as they switch between samurai and ninja fighting styles. The new game promises larger levels, a heavier challenge, tough boss fights, and tons of supernatural samurai action. No doubt the game looks like it'll be a worthy follow-up to its predecessors. It won't be long till we find out how things turn out, as the game is on deck for February 6. IO Interactive, the team behind the Hitman series, will deliver an all-new take on the famous British super spy with 007 First Light. Players take control of James Bond, then a 26-year-old MI6 agent, as he embarks on a mission which will earn him his 007 status if it's completed successfully. Players can approach the game's missions however they want, either by using stealth and charm, gadgets, or just run in with all guns blazing. The game features an all-star cast, including Gemma Chan from The Eternals and rock star Lenny Kravitz. This will be the first all-new Bond game since 2012's 007 Legends, a game received so poorly that it would partially cause Activision to lose the James Bond license. Thus, IO has a lot to prove, but if they put the same effort on this game that they did with the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy, Bond fans could be in for a treat. Capcom's newest IP is almost here. Originally announced in 2020 with a release set for 2022, it will be delayed to sometime in 2023. However, it was delayed again, and the game went radio silent for several months. It popped up again this past year, and the game finally has a release date of April 24, 2026. In this third-person action game, which Capcom swears is not a new Mega Man game, you play as an astronaut named Hugh and his android companion Diana, who looks like a small child. Diana can use her hacking powers on enemy robots, making it easier for Hugh to take them down. Together, the two will board a space station to take on a rogue AI. We'll see how the game measures up to classic Capcom properties like Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, and Street Fighter when the game drops this spring. In the meantime, PC gamers can download a demo on Steam. From the debut of an all-new Capcom IP, To the long-awaited return of another Capcom intellectual property, Onimusha, Way of the Sword is the 5th mainline title in the series. The series has seen a lot of traction as of late. We have remasters of the first 2 games, we have a Netflix series, so it was only a matter of time before we got a brand new game. Taking control of the famous historical samurai, Masashi Miyamoto, you are returned to the land of the living after being killed. Bound to the Oni Gauntlet, the staple of the franchise, you battle with demons in Edo-era Japan. You'll be joined by a host of new allies as you do battle with the demonic Genma. Way of the Sword is the first new game in the franchise since Dawn of Dreams, all the way back in 2006. So it won't be long before we see if Capcom's brand of samurai horror still has it after 20 years. A spiritual successor to arcade-style basketball games, namely NBA Street, NBA The Run will allow players to take control of their favorite superstars and hit the court. You'll be able to play in 3-on-3 online basketball tournaments with stars such as Stephen Curry and Luka Doncic. While there isn't much info about the game, we do know that NBA Street announcer Bobito Garcia will once again lend his voice to the courtside action. If you're a fan of those old-school arcade-style b-ball games, or just want some more NBA action that isn't 2K, this is going to be one to keep your eye on. Play-by-Play, the game's developer, is composed of veterans who worked on games like NBA Street. So let's see if they can recapture that magic when NBA The Run drops later this year. Developer Ponko is hard at work on his follow-up to 2022's runaway success, Vampire Survivors. Vampire Crawlers, described as a turbo wildcard, is a roguelike deck-building dungeon crawler that looks to be just as addictive and hyperactive as Vampire Survivors. You'll use familiar items such as the sword and whip as you take on familiar enemies in familiar environments. In between each run, you'll improve your stats and upgrade your abilities. The original Vampire Survivors was unlike anything seen before and spawned dozens of imitators. Let's see if Vampire Crawlers has that same effect when it hits PC and consoles later this year. The Forza Horizon Festival comes to the Land of the Rising Sun later this year when Microsoft's open world racing series hits Xbox and PC. Of course, the game will also come to PlayStation 5 sometime afterward. Developed by Playground Games, with assistance from Turn 10, Forza Horizon 6 will take the franchise's open-world racing to iconic locations such as Mount Fuji and Tokyo. Like its predecessors, the game will feature hundreds of cars from dozens of manufacturers, along with the ability to customize them to your heart's content. No doubt we'll learn more about the game throughout the next several months as we get closer to the game's release. Fans have been requesting this location for years, as the country has a unique culture when it comes to racing. No doubt they'll be looking forward to tearing up the streets of the Land of the Rising Sun when the game drops this year. Marvel Tokon isn't the only superhero fighting game hitting this year. Developed by Quarter Up and published by Skybound, Invincible Versus is a 3-on-3 fighting game taking place in the Invincible universe. Players take control of several characters from the series, including Invincible himself, Omni-Man, Battle Beast, and Elemental, who's an all-new character created just for the game. The game will feature a story written by one of the writers from the Amazon series. It will also feature online gameplay with rollback netcode and brutal combos that can leave your opponent dismembered. Quarter Up is made up of developers who worked on Killer Instinct, so hopefully Invincible Versus has that same level of quality. If it does, Invincible Versus will be on the same level as Injustice and Marvel vs. Capcom when it launches later this spring. Developed by Housemarque, the team behind Returnal, Saros looks to add to Sony's hot streak of first-party games. The game tells the story of Aruna Devraja, and I know I mispronounced that name, a soldier stuck on Carcosa, a mysterious shape-shifting alien planet, as he's searching for someone. Saros has similar gameplay to Returnal. However, the key difference is that every time you die, the resources you earn carry between each run, allowing you to come back stronger. The world also changes, revealing new paths and new threats. The game has a bizarre, ethereal look unlike anything seen in-game. No doubt, fans like myself are looking forward to discovering Carcosa's secrets when Saros drops later this year. Developed and published by S-Game, Phantom Blade Zero combines Chinese historical literature with hack-and-slash action and brings it home with Unreal Engine 5 powered visuals. Playing as a warrior named Soul, you have 66 days to live after being framed for the death of your master. Dubbed a Kung Fu Punk, the game will utilize martial arts action with an aesthetic similar to old school Kung Fu films. The devs state that over 30 weapons will be available, and you can earn them by defeating powerful enemies. When you earn these weapons, you take on the techniques tied to them. So if you're digging games like Black Myth, Rise of Ronin, and other hack-and-slash action games inspired by Asian history, this is another that you'll want to add to the list. Crimson Desert is another game that's been cooking for a while, almost to a point where I forgot about it. Originally announced back in 2020 at the Game Awards, the game is set to be released this March. The open world action game is set in the same world as the MMORPG Black Desert Online. At first, it was intended to be a prequel to Black Desert. Instead, it was changed to a game that took place in the same universe. Playing as a warrior named Cliff, you set out to rebuild your shattered company and reclaim your lost power. You'll explore the continent of Pywell, deal with rival factions, and explore dungeons with fearsome creatures. When the game first made its debut, it wowed fans with its graphics. When the game launches in March, we'll see if it plays as good as it looks. If you're a fan of the Black Desert MMORPG, this will no doubt be of interest. Even if you aren't, because I haven't played Black Desert, this is still one you're going to want to check out. Developed by Saber Interactive, Toxic Commando is a 4-player co-op shooter which has a story written and inspired by filmmaking icon John Carpenter. Taking place in a zombie apocalypse, you take control of one of the titular commandos and battle hordes of the undead in your mission to take down the Sludge God, a being created by an experiment gone wrong. You'll make use of weapons, explosives, and special abilities in your quest to take down the zombie horde. This is obviously the closest we'll get to a new Left 4 Dead, and it's made in collaboration with the mind behind Escape from New York, Halloween, Big Trouble in Little China, and so many other great movies. It's got a big name behind it, and with a release date of March 12th, it won't be long before we find out how the gameplay measures up. Legacy of the Dark Knight is the latest entry in the LEGO Batman franchise. Players will take control of Bruce Wayne throughout his career as Batman, from training with the League of Shadows, to returning to Gotham, to networking with the Bat family, to taking on Gotham's greatest villains. It's all here but in LEGO form. The combat system is reminiscent of the Arkham games. So basically, Traveler's Tales Games made a new Arkham game before Rocksteady could. What I like about the game is that it takes bits and pieces from nearly every aspect of Batman media, from the comics, to the Nolanverse, to the Arkham games, to the Tim Burton movies. Heck, there are even some bits and pieces from the Joel Schumacher flick. If you don't mind the LEGO aesthetic and the humor, this is an excellent package for fans of the Dark Knight. The Duskbloods is an upcoming multiplayer action game developed by From Software for the Nintendo Switch 2 of all things. That's right, a third-party Nintendo platform exclusive in 2026. Wonders never cease. You play as one of the Bloodsworn, a group of vampire-like characters with unique weapons and abilities. The game's Victorian Gothic visuals give it a vibe similar to Bloodborne. However, the gameplay is more multiplayer focused, with player versus player and player versus environment game modes. Players can adjust their appearance and abilities in a hub area that they can visit between matches. Various events happen during matches that can shake things up. For instance, a certain type of enemy may spawn, or additional objects may pop up that grant rewards. There will also be personal objectives that players can meet based on their role that will give their own rewards. While this game is different than Bloodborne, fans of that game will no doubt be interested in this title. Also, the game will no doubt feature the challenge and the combat that FromSoft games are known for. This is going to be a surefire hit for the Nintendo Switch 2 when it drops later this year. It's good to see third-party developers giving Nintendo's platform some love. Formerly known as Earth from Another Sun, Pax Autocratica started life as a massively multiplayer online game complete with player versus player and guilds. However, along with renaming the Pax Autocratica, the game was retooled into what its developer Multiverse describes as a satirical, totalitarian, colony sim plus FPS roguelike. You'll make decisions and build facilities that shape your society into either utopia or a dictatorship. You'll have to deal with things such as healthcare, resources, living conditions, and possibly rebellions if your citizens get pissed off enough. You'll also have to deal with enemy forces as you lead your army in battle or explore unclaimed planets and exploit them for their resources. While the game is mostly single player, the devs promise co-op for the roguelike FPS segments. So the game feels like a cross between Tropico, No Man's Sky, and Mountain Blade. I played a demo for the game years ago, back when it was still called Earth from Another Sun, and it showed a lot of promise. There's a new demo on Steam, so you can check it out now that it's under the new name. The game has been in the cooker for years, and ambitious doesn't even begin to describe it. It's set to hit Steam in early access later this year, so if it delivers on its promise, it could easily be one of the biggest space sims of 2026 and 2027. At the least, it'll be better than Star Citizen. Bloodstained, the Scarlet engagement, is the prequel to 2019's classic Metroidvania, Igavania. Taking place in 16th century England, players are tasked to destroy Castlevania and its master the Ethereal Castle and its master, the Demon Lord Elias. You take control of Leonard, a member of the church's Black Wolves clan, and Alexander, a knight who's the sole survivor of a previous attempt to destroy the castle. Players can switch between the two heroes by pressing a button, and while you play as one hero, the other will assist you in combat. Sounds like the game could use couch co-op. Hint hint, the game promises Bloodstained's largest map yet, complete with day and night cycles, and a deep and complex combat system. Players can even cook meals and customize their characters. I can't wait to learn more about the game throughout the next several months. If nothing else, it's likely that this is the closest we'll get to a new Castlevania, at least until Konami stops messing around. The games I went through are just some of the great games that are on deck for this year. If you're a PC gamer and you want to save on these titles along with other hits that are on the way, Fanatical.com has your hookup. Head over there and you'll find savings on games like Resident Evil Requiem, Crimson Desert, Yakuza Kiwami 3, Code Vein 2, and more. You can also check out their bundles where you can save on other great games. You go to the bundle you're interested in, you choose the games you want, and you can save on each of them. Check out the Prestige Collection, where you can pick from great games like Ghostwire, Doom Eternal, and My Time on Sandrock. You can get them for as little as $7 a game. Also check out the Bento Bundle, where you can save on games like Rogue Flight, Berserk Boy, and Harvest Moon 1 World for as little as $2.85 a pop. The more you bundle, the more you save. They also got non-game related stuff too. If you poke around, you can find tons of game assets, graphic novels, online courses, and even samples and plugins from music producers. Fanatical is a legitimate Steam key reseller. They actually work with publishers to make sure you get authentic product. They're not a third-party marketplace like G2A, so you don't have to worry about scams. I've even used them several times in the past myself, and you know that Don wouldn't promote anything on his platform that he wouldn't use and that he doesn't believe in. So if you're getting it from me, you know it's legit. So if you want to save on some great titles, once again my affiliate link is below, so head over there and tell them that the Don sent you. And that was the 20 for 2026. If you made it this far, the Don has a favor for you to ask. I want you to go into the comment section and let me know what game coming out this year that you're looking forward to the most. It doesn't matter if I mention it, it doesn't matter if I didn't mention it. Just let me know in the comments what game that's coming out this year that you're looking forward to the most. Mine is, of course, Paralyzed. I can't wait to play that game. I've been keeping up with it ever since I first learned about it. It's going to go into early access this May, and I can't wait to get my hands on it fast enough. I know it's not going to be the big Sims killer, but it's definitely something I'm anticipating. I've seen how the developers have came up with the game since they first announced it, and it's great finally being able to get my hands on the fruits of their labor. But enough of that. For those new to the channel, by the way, welcome. I like to cover indie games. I like to cover retro games. I like to do hardware unboxings. I do game reviews. I do previews. I do documentaries. I do lists, just like the one you just went through. If you join me every Sunday afternoon on YouTube and Bijo Live, maybe Twitch, maybe TikTok too, you can catch me doing live streaming, and also randomly during the week. So if you're down with all that and you want to join the Mafia, hit that big red subscribe button, and the Don's going to make you a made man. Now if you want to help me out further, hit that bell icon, turn your notifications on. That way you'll be the first to know whenever I drop new content. I got tons of great stuff on the way. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Also, my link tree is in the description. You can find me on social media. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Threads. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I have a Twitter account. I don't normally engage on that because it's cesspool it's become. But if you see a post from me, it's usually I have this thing that automatically posts to that to my Twitter whenever I drop a new video. So that's what that is. You can also check out my podcast, Will Talks About Games. I do it every so often. I'm gonna try to do it weekly. I'm gonna try to do it weekly. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stick with that. Maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly. Who knows? But it's called Will Talks About Games. You can find it on YouTube, and you can also listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere else where you can go to listen to podcasts. So 2025 was a great year for me. Still slow upward growth. I don't care if I ever get monetized. I don't care if I ever become as big as I think I should be. Just knowing that people like you out there are watching my content, vibing with it, all the comments, all the likes, all the subs, even the negative stuff, because any engagement is positive engagement, especially when it comes to the YouTube platform. I thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in and watching my content. You know, all the likes, all the comments, like even on my worst day, like knowing that people are, knowing somebody out there is watching my stuff, or somebody out there even liked it or dropped a comment. Knowing that just makes my day like a billion times better. And again, I got some big stuff planned for this year. You're not going to want to miss any of it. And I hope you guys, each and every one of you watching this, I know you're gonna have hope you have a great and positive year. I hope you make it happen. And until next time, Audi 51,000 G, Ken folk.